Good morning, y'all. Today I've got a few things that I would like to show you. The first one is gonna be, I need to go out and do chores. It's a little bit warmer this morning than it has been. We're in the 30s instead of the 20s, so that's good news. So I want to do a few things with you this morning. The first thing being I need to go do chores. The dogs have already been fed. Sorry, I was just watching Epi put the sneak on Rimmer. And then I got a new blanket for Velvet, and so I want to try that on her, make sure that that fits correctly. And I got myself a pair of shears for the sheep's hooves. The vet showed me the kind that I needed to get. I got the kind that she told me to, and I need to attempt to trim my sheep's feet, because that was the one thing that she had to critique, was that their feet were just a tad bit long. So considering that they are going to be hauling for 2,100 miles, I feel obligated to go ahead and do that for them. So as you know, anything with the sheep girls may or may not be a circus, so we'll see how that goes. And then the next thing is that we're expecting rain. We have rain in the forecast for today and tomorrow, and unfortunately, as of right now, this morning, the trailer's not out of the shop yet, so it looks like we will be in our temporary home for a couple more days. So I need to waterproof the little girls and boy, the dogs, overnight accommodations. They are Labradors and a cattle dog, so I'm not super worried about them, but they're farm dogs, but at the same time they are my children, and I do want to provide them with a place to get out of the rain. So I'm going to waterproof their beds, and then when their gates are open during the day when it's raining, they are more than welcome to go out and sit in the rain if they want to. I'm not going to stop them from it, but they will have a place to go in where it's dry, where they can sleep at nighttime and not be wet and cold. So that's my list of chores for this morning, for today, and hopefully I will be able to take you along with all of those tasks. Not a super huge task list. I'm just kind of waiting for the trailer to be done, and then we'll start the last big pack as far as making the truck and the trailer packed and doing Tetris. So come along on the farm with me. It's smoky here in Central Oregon this morning, so that's what you're seeing as far as the haze. That is not my camera lens. That is good old Central Oregon in the summertime and the fall. For the last, it's been years. I'm not really gonna go there for some of my Central Oregon people that you guys know, and for those of you who don't, just know that this is what us Oregonians deal with in the summertime and the fall, is smoky conditions outside. And so we just do the best that we can to stay healthy and keep our animals healthy. Fresh, clean water for the animals is a huge thing. And for us, if it starts to bother us, we just go inside and we take breaks. And sometimes we have to take, allergy medications and things like that to keep our nasal cavities from clogging up. But I digress. I like chasing squirrels. If you guys haven't noticed that by now, I'm just going to tell you, I like chasing squirrels. So that was a squirrel, and we're going to get back to work. Hey, come on. No jumping. No jumping. Get back. Get back. more. Okay, you gotta stay. I got all the kids loaded. We're headed to the barn. Now, most of the time, you would want to probably have your horse on a halter and get them used to a blanket, but keep in mind, this is a 26-year-old horse that I've had for 22 years. I've blanketed this horse thousands of times. So everybody knows their own horse best, and you need to proceed with whatever you think is best for your horse. If you don't think that, you know, if it's the first time, maybe you should tie your horse up. Maybe you should you know, put a halter on it and desensitize it to the blanket. You certainly don't want to scare them. So I don't want people watching these videos thinking that I'm fitting a horse for the first time and thinking that they can just go out there and throw, you know, this big bad blanket on their 2-year-old horse that's never seen one. Please do your groundwork and your research to desensitize your horse and get them comfortable and trusting you with whatever you bring to them. And, you know, for some new horses, it may take some time before you can ever put a blanket on them. But for this horse in particular, I can pretty much do whatever I want with her, and I know that. So now what we have to do is I have to make sure all the straps are undone. And again, I'm trusting her to stand here while I do all this. She has her grain bucket in front of her. I want to make sure, I don't mind that she's eating, because I want to make sure that when I buckle the front of this blanket, that she can still eat comfortably. She can still put her head down, that it's not restricting her throat or her chest in any way, so that it doesn't hurt to put her head down. This is a Tough One blanket, and I like these blankets for an affordable option. On this particular blanket, and most blankets, if I can get away with it, I like to cross the belly straps. And I want to make sure that my belly straps are tight enough to suck the blanket in. Not cinched tight by any means, but I don't want them, when they decide to roll, I don't want them to kick up with their hind feet and get their legs stuck in the blanket. So I want these belly straps to be just barely touching their belly hair. I also like to cross my back leg straps, and that just helps that when they do roll with these blankets on, that they're not getting, it's just less chance that they get their legs stuck. It's always the first thing that breaks. And these straps are very easily breakable by a horse, which is good. You don't want them to get hung up in their blanket. I'm okay with them breaking a strap if for whatever reason they do get hung up in it. But I do like to set them up for success. Now, velvet is measured as a 71. I got a 72, and I'm glad I did. Because this blanket fits her almost perfectly, maybe even an inch too small, but horse blankets run in even sizes. So unless you have a whole heck of a lot more money than I do and you can have your horse's blankets custom made, you gotta go with even sizes, which again is inches from the breastbone all the way down the side of the horse to the middle of the tail. Okay, I think I have that where I like it. Now I'm going to put the neck wrap on. And I'm going to be super honest with you guys and tell you that I bought this blanket at a consignment shop. I bought it used. I do not feel like my horse is going to be needing this blanket all the time. This is more or less for her travels and to keep her from being too cold in an open stock trailer with the wind chill. So I bought this blanket and hood for less than half of what it would have cost me had I bought it new. Now there is a strap up here. I'll come close once I get her all buttoned up, but I like to make sure that all my seams are laying flat against my horse as to not cause any bunching. And I like to make sure that all of my Velcro is on squarely. And this whole time I'm paying attention to my horse's actions. Like I said, I know her actions, but if you're doing this, you want to pay attention to your horse's actions. You want to watch them put their head down and eat. You want to make sure that they can reach everything that they want to reach. You want to make sure their ears are forward, that their ears aren't pinned back, that they're not uncomfortable. She appears to be fine. She's eating normally. Her ears are forward. She's calm. She's not antsy. And that all tells me that she's fine with this blanket. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to check all of her pressure points. I'm going to check her shoulder blades, make sure that it's not too tight right there, that I can comfortably get my hand in there. It can be snug, but that I can comfortably get my hand in there and rub, that it's not too tight. And so now while she's comfortable in eating, I'm going to go around and double check. Now this is a Snyder's hood or neck cover with a Tough One blanket, and so therefore I'm running into some clip issues over here, and so I'm going to watch this hood and see if I need to rotate it. These clips don't exactly line up where I want them to, but I'm gonna watch her as she moves and see how she does. It does have a Velcro strap up here to connect to your fly mask or your halter, or even sometimes they have full-on hoods that they put on these horses. I'm just going to leave it attached to where it's just sitting there. I've got her breast plate all done, velcroed, 2 clips. I like to make the top clip is always shorter than the bottom clip, and that's just so she has good movement for her legs. I've adjusted the straps here to where she's comfortable, and now she's putting her head down, so I'm checking to see that this is not too tight, that this isn't restricting her from putting her head down and eating. You want it to keep the hood up from falling, you know, down into her face, but you don't want this to restrict her from actually getting her snacks. I'm checking all the way down, got my hand all the way down in here, and I'm checking to see that it's not too tight on her throat. Feels good. My belly straps, looks like I've got one twisted. That's a no-no. That looks better. They are to where when I pull them down, I can just put a hand in between her belly and the strap. When they are not taut by me pulling them down, they suck up to be just barely touching her hair. I'm happy with that. Back here, her leg straps are crossed and they are above her hock. That is where I like to keep mine. Just keeps them out of the way. They don't get stuck on the hock when they're walking around, and when they roll, they're tight enough that they're not going to get anything stuck. Like I said, her head is down, so you can see she's got some butt cheeks showing here, and I probably could have gone to a 74 and been okay. But she does have this tail flap here to stop the wind, and I'm okay with that. So for a half price blanket at a consignment shop, I'm pretty stinking happy. Now, I'm just going to ask her to move around and watch her, make sure that she's comfortable moving in it, which I'm sure she will be. She's had umpteen blankets in her life, but I just want to watch how everything moves, make sure I've got all the straps correct, and that she's comfortable and happy to move. So I'm going to take her away from her breakfast and make her do that. Okay, young lady. I'm just watching to make sure the belly straps don't change. The neck doesn't, you know, go too far up on her head. It's sitting perfectly. It's not rotating. Back to the hay, head right back down to eating. No hesitation whatsoever. She appears to be comfortable. But she doesn't need a blanket right now. So now we're going to take it all off and put it back in the bag and wait for the haul. This isn't going to be interesting at all. is my layer. When in doubt, lay down. Use these clippers appropriately. So it's taking me a long time because I'm having to take really small bites with these clippers. It's interesting to me to learn all these new ways to care for my animals on the homestead without looking for outside providing of care. And you know, a lot of you may say, well, why don't you, Ashley, why don't you just call it farrier? Well, the reason why is because I have chosen to want to live this sustainable, maintainable life. And in order for that to happen for me, I feel like anything that I can learn as far as the care of my animals, the better off I'll be in sustaining my homestead. Is it hard sometimes? Absolutely. Do I always know what I'm doing? Heck no. But the joy of this lifestyle is that you're not going to intentionally hurt your animals. And your animals trust you more than anybody in this world. So why not try to do your own stuff? And what happens if you have a farrier and that farrier retires, or he's sick, or he's got a family emergency, or you know, what happens? Your animals just wait, or they go through many other farriers that you don't know their reputation, or you don't know how good they're going to be with your animals, or you know, maybe they don't know what they're doing. Well, geez, you know, if I wanted somebody that I didn't know what they were doing, then I would just do it myself. Oh wait, I can do it myself if I just take the time to learn to do it myself. Then there's no reason why I can't. Hey, stop, sweetheart. I know, Mommy's taking forever, huh? Your heels are a little long. I'd like to get a little bit off of them. Get you squared up a little bit, baby girl. Okay. Oh my goodness. So much better. Oreos don't need done until her first shoring. Whew. all done. Okay, so, hi kids. In thinking about this process and thinking about how close I am to leaving, I drug a tarp out. It's not big enough. I'd have to go to the storage unit to get another tarp. And I do believe that I will be packing all of this stuff up anyway in the next few days and putting it in the truck. So I believe it is time for the girls and boy and Rogie to do the transformation of truck life. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go assess what the plan is for the truck and explain a little bit of that to you. So that's a fly mask that needs to go to Velvet. Okay, so I do believe that I want to leave my seat able to recline. That way I can sleep in the truck. So I believe that I will move this to here. This is a dog leash that's stuck in the seat. So I'll fix that in a minute. These seats are supposed to fold down. Oh, up, I mean. All right. And this is supposed to pull. Yep, this goes out. This goes like that, goes like that. So now I need to see if the cat crate will fit in here. If the cat crate can fit in here, then Rogie, that will be her spot. If it does not fit in here, then her spot will be in the back of the truck and I'll swap her out with one of the dogs. So I'm going to do that and see where we're at. Good news, she fits. So now I'm gonna get her water and I'm gonna go ahead and get her food too. Hey, sweet girl. Hey, how's life? Let me have your food. I know. Life is terrible, I know. I get it. I'm sorry. Not very much longer. You're gonna be a barn cat in Arkansas. Okay, now for the dog portion. I need to break all of that down that you guys have been seeing at the temporary homestead as the dogs' little yard that they have and their beds and their crates. I need to break all of that down and get that portable to where they can stay in the back of the truck. just like that. We're all broke down. The girls and boy will be waterproof in the truck tonight when the rain comes, and that part will already be packed and broken down, and what is remaining here will be picked up and packed like Tetris in the truck and the trailer. We have those two big water bowls. They're not going with me. They're dollar store water bowls. The medical box, both the brown wooden one and the yellow one that you see under the stairs there, that's going with me. Those two dry bags are going with me. The dog food is going with me. That's behind Rumor there. There is litter back there, and paper towels and Clorox wipes. That was our task for the day, was to get everybody dry, and in doing so, we got the dogs like halfway packed. So all is good in our world. So as one of the last times coming to you rather, up against the motorhome in our temporary house on our temporary farm homestead. Still a couple more days left before this little adventure is over, but I want to say thank you for joining me. I hope that the video was entertaining today at the very least, and you guys got updated on what's going on during this transition and how many little micro transitions are within the big transition. It's a little overwhelming at times. It's a little daunting, the tasks and the logistics that go into a move across the country, 2,146 miles from Oregon to Arkansas. They're pretty steep. I mean, the checklist is long, and you have to continue every day to just do what you can and continue to check things off the list. It has really taught me. I'm a bit of a OCD kind of mom. I'm a helicopter mom, and I don't like, my friends joke and say I don't like my cheese moved. I have a plan, and I don't like my plans changed. And I'm a little bit of a tightwad when it comes to that. My time is important to me, and I'm a little bit of a control freak when it comes to my plans and changing them. And I feel like I have really grown in this process. I feel like I have opened up my heart to all of the scary things, and the worries and the concerns and the what ifs, and I feel like I have continued to put one foot in front of the other and go through the hard goodbyes and the disappointments, the plans that fall through, and you go, okay, well, maybe we'll just do it differently, or maybe, okay, we'll push it back a few days. And a lot of moving like this, you have to open up your heart and your mind to be able to do that. And I'm proud of myself for growing. The growth is not finished yet. I still have to make it there. But the kids are all staying healthy and happy through all of this. And, the vet appointments and the hauling back and forth and the, hey, this is your home, oh no, it's not. This is your home. And, even today, packing up this temporary homestead, that pin and those crates were their home for almost 2 weeks, and they are wondering, where's our next home? What's going on? Why are we moving again? And me being able to have the confidence to just say, it's okay, it's worth it, trust me. When you see the heaven that we're going to, trust me, it is worth it. It'll be okay. I'll be with you every step of the way. And that gives me purpose. It gives me purpose to continue to go through the logistics, make the phone calls, make the reservations, cancel the reservations, remake the reservations, change the plans, and just update what I'm doing that day according to what can be done that day. And that's what you have to do. Just keep moving forward. So the girls are in the truck, and boy, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I get to pick up the trailer today. So I'll get to get it not repaired. I'll get to get it gussied up a little bit, get the mats in there, and hopefully Mr. Wonderful can get the boards in there on the gates, and that step will be done. And then I do believe that Tetris is coming, folks. So stay tuned on this crazy life of mine. And thank you very, very much for watching. And we'll catch you on the next one. Yours truly.